It's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 653. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
And I am Mako-chan.
Ari is not on tonight. He's taking the night off. Plus, he wasn't at Derpy, so you can always use extra sleep. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
And I think doing these back-to-back cons, I think I came down with something. Feeling like a tickle in the back of my.
Well, that's not good.
Well, I got Mucinex and other medicine stuff like that sitting behind me, so I'll probably pop something and go and right like an hour before I go to bed so I can pass out.
Mm-hmm.
But at least this time I properly set the alarm so I won't oversleep by an hour. Anywho, Marco, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing okay. I'm still kind of recovering from not sleeping this weekend.
I'm sorry.
What? Wasn't your fault.
Alright, I thought it was me snoring kept you up.
I didn't hear you at all.
Thank God. I guess it's a good thing after all.
I didn't hear you at all. I just could not get comfortable.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I just was not comfortable in the bed.
That's a first. You usually don't mind those mattresses, you know?
Usually I don't, but I could not get comfortable in the bed. I don't know what the hell happened. I came home early Sunday, and by the time I want to say by 5 o'clock, I could barely keep my eyes open anymore. I pushed through though, because I was not going to sleep that freaking early.
Oh, I mean, your sleep schedule's already fucked up as it is, so you know.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I slept 10 hours Sunday into Monday and 8.5 hours yesterday into today.
Okay.
So just trying to,
make it through. By the way, how's the volume for me?
You sound good.
Okay, because I turned the gain back down to my normal default, so I'm like, I think that had to be it. Plus, I just reinstalled the software because it kept telling me, "Oh, you have an update," and I'm looking at it like, this is the same version I've had on here before. So why do I need to update? So I'm like, you know what? I did it just for shits and giggles, and I totally forgot to like actually install because that's to uninstall first. So anywho, enough about that. Enough about the minor chit chat and the rigmarole and all that goodness. Let's get into tonight's show, shall we?
Sure.
We are live tonight, week of October 29th, 2024, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You'll always find us at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at VogNetwork.com. And you can find them at not just VogNetwork.com, but also on Twitch at Twitch TV/VogNetwork. And come hang out in our Discord, VogNetwork.com/Discord. Shows that are part of the Voice of Geeks Network have their own channel, so come through, hang out, and show us a little bit of love. Now we got that out the way. Let's go ahead and kick things off. Mako-chan, how was your week? How was your day?
Not bad. Convention this past weekend. And other than that, just dealing with work and coming home and hanging out with the cat.
And the cat gives you look at you funny like, man, who are you? Stay away from me.
She was not happy with me when I came home on Sunday. At all.
She was mad that she was stuck there by herself.
Pretty much, she actually would not, like, she came out into the living room, saw that it was me, and went back into the bedroom.
Hmm.
She was not happy with me.
What's going on? Who is that? Oh, it's you. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Trots
pretty much.
away.
Pretty much.
Hmm. Well,
But yeah, that's basically it.
got you. Well, I don't have any pets, so unless you count people that work that live in this apartment I'm in, house I'm in, but that's neither here nor there. My weekend has been the same. Work as per usual and going to the con. Not That's basically been the long and short of it. I did pick up my laundry because I realized I'm going back out again this weekend for another holiday for a Halloween party, and I realized this is when I normally do laundry, so I'm like plotting things out because me and Mako are going to a concert tomorrow night, and then I have a meetup on Thursday, and it's like done. So dropped off my laundry Monday night, and I'm like, this is a small. Pick it up Tuesday. And it's all automated and all of that. I get the text notification saying it'll be ready on Wednesday, so I'm like, fuck, I gotta get up 15. There's no point getting up early because the laundromat doesn't open until 8 o'clock. So I'm like, well, get there when I get to work. And then around 12 o'clock, I get a notification, ready for pickup today. I'm like, love it. So there's that. Other than that, that's been my weekend day. So, excuse me, I've been sucking down on cough drops and throat drops all day, just kind of keep things going. I wonder if I finally got the COVID like last time where I had it for like 3 days and just disappeared. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, still taste stuff, but I haven't even eaten dinner yet. Evidently, there was stuff going on at work, so I'm just like sampling this and that and going back to my desk, and I realize, yeah, I'm not gonna be eating dinner till late tonight, so it is what it is. All right, so we're gonna get into some housekeeping notes for today. Um,
You cut out.
no, I'm right here.
Now you are.
I didn't do anything. I didn't go anywhere.
Ah.
Anywho, just to let you know, the episodes of Anime Jam Session are available on our YouTube page, our podcast VODs, youtube.com/session. Click on playlists, and you should see the Anime Jam Session playlist or podcast. It's all there, all ready to go. Check it out. Episodes are available Thursdays at 12 noon. And don't forget Fans View Friday, hosted by Wisteria WT. And this week she is doing AWA 1997. So head over to her Twitch page, show her a little love. Again, that is twitch.tv/WisteriaWT. And get into some table. This is a part of the show where we talk more about the geeky aspects of our life, sharing cool geek stuff and all of that. So, Mako-chan, what do you have for Geek Roundtable?
Well, I figured since it is, basically the last show before Halloween, that I would show off one of my more horror-related things. So this is the puzzle box from Hellraiser. It is a very cheap version of it. It does not open or anything like that. It is just a cube. I do really, really want one of the, functional ones, but I will, I'll take what I can get. But yeah, so this is the puzzle box from the series that summons the Cenobites. And yeah, that's basically it.
Well, two things. I didn't realize. I guess I meant. I forgot about this. I'll bring this up during Geek Roundtable. So, let's see. Shit, I just forgot the. Anyhow, it'll come back to me. Oh, now I remember. I am done with My Hero Academia. I know I'm like a couple of weeks behind everybody else because I decided to watch the dub, and then I think there was a week or two where I was so busy I didn't get a chance to sit down and watch. And I will say this much: if Himiko Toga got the love and support that she needed, she would not have been a villain. She probably would have been an anti-hero, something along the lines of Dexter. So that's my theory and that's my take on it. Also, I got a package at work today. It's from Otaku Mode. I had on Sunday I ordered another Rem figurine. It's Magical Girl Rem. It was on sale, so I'm like, you know what? It's on my wish list. Trigger. So I don't know when I will be bringing that home. It's in a box next to my desk, so with some other stuff that I've ordered that's sitting there. So, and I want to talk to y'all about my Dirty Pair Kickstarter. Something very interesting. So, as you all know, I think we talked about this on the show over the summer, how people were getting upset over the fact that there were no updates about anything. And there's going to be issues because Crunchyroll bought Nozomi Entertainment and all this other stuff. So, fine, whatever, have you. I believe they went out and made a post saying they're still working on things. There's nothing to worry about. Fine, cool. So I got an email notification of an update on the Kickstarter that some stuff's being sent out. Instead of it going out to you automatically, customer service is going to reach out to you directly. And if you don't hear from them in a week, contact them. So I didn't hear back from them after a week. So the following week, I sent an email. What happened? Actually, I was trying to figure shit out because it says if you have anything, contact their help desk here. So I click on it, and it's a complete FAQ on stuff, and I couldn't find anything regarding the Kickstarter. So I just opened up a generic help page and sent it in. I get a response back. Oh, we shipped it. Here's your tracking link. What? You what? Some of my backing stuff shipped out a month ago. And I'm like, first, I'd already changed my address. How the hell did it go to my older one? Fuck. Secondly, even though I'm on good terms with the neighbors next door, I know the people inside that house who are related to the neighbors next door, they're going to throw anything that belongs to me a fucking way. I think I was over there with Joey one time, because I had to drop off. I had to pick up stuff from him. We swung by the house to pick up mail, and I only saw one thing for me, and I'm like, well, there's got to be more than that. Whatever. And I'm like, well, I shot them an email, and I told them I changed my address. Here's the link to the update. Da, 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 da. Please send it to my address. So, my work address. So, and I put it down, and I actually put on there the name of the company that I work for, like care of. And I'm like, well, if somebody there, Crunchyroll sees the name, they're going to be like, oh. So, earlier this morning, or in the afternoon, I get an email. Actually, it was this morning on my way into work. I get an email from their customer service with an updated invoice with everything, with my address. Sweet. And then I get another email following up saying, we're sorry what had happened. We're going to send everything to your new address, and that's so on and so forth. And I'm like, great, thank you so much. I'm like really appreciative of that. So it is because I can't wait to get my Dirty Pair shot glasses. I'm probably going to put them up on display at work. But then again, that display shelf is starting to run out of room. I got a gift from one of the departments at work that when I helped out with an event, and it's a cool water bottle, but I thought it was cool, and I had like the card of them thanking me and all of that, so I had that sitting up there. I'm like greatly appreciative of all that good stuff. So it's it. That's that done. That's our geek. So now that we got that out the way, we are going to talk about Derpycon. Now, I think we'll probably have time to discuss other things on the show, but I will say, different this time around. It really was. I mean, it felt like as if the con finally got its groove on. Normally, when a new comes through, it usually takes like three, maybe 4 years for the con to get its groove and get things going. Um, I believe this is their 11th year having the con, and we were there 3 years ago. And if you listen to our podcast or if you watched the episode, we were not happy at fucking all. I mean, even year one, we were not happy. But then again, it's year one. But we felt like even for a year one convention, it should not have been this bad. But I am glad to say, like, there's been some changes. There's been some cool stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get into Derpycon Friday. It'll be mostly from my point of view since I was there early. So I'll tell you about some of the stuff that I saw, things I did, and all that cool stuff. So here we go with Derpycon Friday. Let me go ahead and adjust the volume just so that I don't blow anyone out. So I only took a half day for the con. As you all know, I was at another convention a weekend prior, plus the fact that we were training a new person in my department, so I'm like, I can't be gone all of Friday. So I figured I'd work a 4-hour shift and make my way over. I got there around 3, and it was pretty lively, and that was good. And one thing that I noticed, the registration line was virtually empty. I discovered that they went completely cashless, online registration only, everything. I like that. And I know there are people who are saying that cons and stores that are going cashless is disadvantage to those who cannot have a cashless option. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. You can go to any drugstore and pick up a green dot reloadable prepaid. Yeah, you can pay a $5 fee, but
You only have to pay that once.
oh, only once?
Yeah.
Okay, that's even better.
Yeah, you're basically paying for the card, and then when you reload it, I believe, I mean, I think there's a fee, but not like $5 per reload.
Okay. I mean, I'm all about that. That is, and don't forget, you can always you can get your bank account. There's a debit credit card. People don't like banks. There are credit unions you can go to. There are online banks you can use. Hell, if you use PayPal, Chime, I mean, it's PayPal. I mean, if you use Venmo, if you use Cash App, they all offer like debit cards. So there's always an option. I mean, doing everything remotely from a tablet and this or that. And it's probably gonna be a matter of time where they're gonna be like, they'll have like QR codes for Venmo, and I'm starting to see dealers and people. I mean, that's been a thing with Artist Alley for the longest. I'm starting to see dealers and like food trucks, all of them take that because that's what it's coming down to. I'm okay with that. So I'm pulling up my schedule so I can talk about what I did and how things were. All right. Now, when I got there at 3, it was nice, it was lively, and I got some pictures. I walked around with. That was cool. Let's see, 4 o'clock. What did I don't have an option for my schedule because I'm pulling it up from the web. Actually, I stopped by the Pressure Luck panel. I only stayed about like what 5-10 minutes because nobody was there. That's I don't know. Evidently, from my understanding, the person that was running that game show panel still had was just got there and hasn't set up yet. Okay, let me say this: if I have a panel to do and it's involving computers and so forth, I'm gonna be there day before or that morning, checked in already, or something. That way, I can come down, prep, and get things going. Whenever we would do a podcast at any convention, I'm down there like 10 minutes early to plug in, wire everything up. Like, I need you to run this, I need you to run that, so we can just get it going. That just keep it plain and simple. 10 minutes of that, I said screw it, and I left. Now, because of the last minute planning and so forth, I totally forgot about the idol showcase. But I did stop by and I took pictures, and it was great. Now, as y'all know, I'm all about signs, displays, and so forth. Now, Castle Point, when they did their idol showcase, they just had a video wall of the con's logo in the background. Derpycon one upped it at the video wall, but they also had information on the video wall, such as the name of the idol group, no, the name of the song, the name of the original idol group that it's from, and or the anime, and underneath it was the logo. I thought that was really cool, and it was like a large logo, like kind of sort of the center of the screen, of the wall. Now, what I like to see them do for next year, instead of using it like the standard Arial font, use a fancy font. Just have it at the top, name of the song, put song, name of it, idol group anime, put that there, and name of the group, and have like their logo not superimposed on the background, but something higher up, and then all the extra space below. Just have a backdrop, like a generic idol stage looking a background, or if they want a preferred one, that would be kind of cool. It's like, to me, it's always something about eye catching, keeping it popping. And yes, if you did bring a glow stick, you were told turn it to certain colors and so forth, which is cool. I know in storage I have a glow stick from the Sailor Moon event me and Mako went to.
Hmm.
That was one of the things that I did. Later that afternoon, me and Cinna Knight, we interviewed Debbie Derryberry and Aaron Dismuke. And that was really cool. Debbie is such a sweet, wonderful person. And it was a pure joy to interview her. So, Mako, you're going to love this.
Hmm.
As we were wrapping up, I always do, like, you've seen me when I interview, like, I always have like one last question, and that usual question is advice, something you could tell others about getting into voice acting. So I said to Debbie, here's my last question, and she goes, yes, I know what it is. I'm 4'10" and a half. I was like, wow. And I thought that was great. But it was basically the voice acting question. And she actually commended me on my interviewing skills. And I was like, I really appreciate that. And honestly, my interviewing has come from following Rob Roberts from OLR, um, following Travis Donovan when he was doing TDL Live and his other shows. So, I kind of pick up on that. That, and one thing about me in interviews, I don't like to sit there and have questions ready. I like to answer. I always like to ask like two or three simple questions, and then start asking more questions and bouncing it off of that. So that's how I like to do things. And with Aaron, he was really chill, but I don't think he was. I think he was only there for Friday though, because something terrible had happened. His, I think his dog passed away. Yes, that Saturday he had to go back home. And but he still gave a good interview. He's into gardening and composting and Zoroastrianism. Not them, but it's more like the history about certain things. And I thought it was really cool. I just like the fact that he kind of went on a tangent about certain things and being more like a bit of a minimalist and so forth. That's really cool. I like that. So that was basically gist of my Friday. And then later that evening, me, Cinnamite, and my friend CC Greywitch, we all went to the drag show. I had a great time. So, there's a question that popped in. 11th Howl asks, "Are they reading the chat?" Oh, yeah. Sometimes we do. We do read the chat. If you're asking questions about the con or ask us questions or anything about what we're talking about, we will read the chat. Don't worry, we got you. And if I don't, Mako, somebody will. Trust us. We got an eye on things, so it's all good in the hood, fam. So, I wish you had came down to the drag show. You would have loved it.
Yeah, well, I was very tired.
Fair enough. You did show up with a big old like shawl of a coat.
Well, it was not really a shawl. It was my hoodie blanket, but
Yep.
it's the difference. It was warm and comfy,
Fair
and
enough.
it's very cozy.
I did check in on the Japan about punk history in Japan panel, which was did like that. I didn't stay because the thing is, yes, I tagged some stuff in guidebook, but off the tangent, other things. And there was a listing for the greatest anime game show ever. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check that out. It was just a fancified version of Anime Jeopardy, and I just left. At 1 a.m., this panel went off the rails. It was basically let me look at the other. It was an 18 plus panel with the staff. That's what it was. Here it is. It's called Derpycon Presents Staff After Dark 18 plus. See, when I walked in, I was thinking this was gonna be a panel about the staffers. You asking them like outlandish questions to see if they would answer. It's sort of like Voice Actors Uncensored. It's one of those panels where you do not record it. All that. No, you don't, because it's like Vegas rules apply. But it turned out to be some type of long-winded panel about the death of their mascot, the Derpycon, and who killed it. And the fact,
Why would you need to make that an 18 plus panel?
I don't know. I mean, not, wasn't much cursing, but I don't know. The fact that I stayed for the whole thing, but I did show up in my pajamas. All right, before we get into our Saturday, there's a question in the chat here from 11th Howl about thoughts on Youmacon this weekend. All right. I can say that 13 years ago, I attended I attended Youmacon. It was at the Rensen. That dealer's room was just crowded upon crowd. I had to talk to somebody to get my press badges because I did fill out the form, but I never heard a confirmation, but I got them. Masquerade was pretty nice. It was okay. I didn't stay on site. I stayed with a friend and we commuted back and forth. Should have stayed there. And Love House says that from what they heard, the cons moved to a new venue. Yes, it did. For a while, it was the Ren Sen and a convention center back and forth. Now it's in a brand new place. Yes, I know about the gist of the drama and the controversy that's going on, and I'll say yes, I am friends with the founder and the former con chair Morgan. But when all this was going on, I said nothing. I just stepped back and just let it play out because I've only been one time, so I really can't give an honest opinion. But I can say this: you have a new person running the show, and I hope that everybody gives them a fair chance, a fair try at the con, and hopefully under brand new leadership, there'll be changes and positivities out of it. Now that we got that out the way, let's get into Derpycon Saturday. All right, Mako, tell us about your Saturday of the con.
Yeah, so I got up,
Mm-hmm.
I got dressed as Wednesday. Yeah, I the main thing that I wanted was to get Debbie Derryberry's autograph, because on top of everything else that she's done, she was actually the Wednesday in the 1990s Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
So I absolutely love that cartoon. So I decided that I was going to dress as Wednesday in that particular variant, because she wore a blue dress with pink leggings for that particular
Mm.
sequence. And I decided that I would get something a little bit special to have signed. So I found basically it's a production copy of uh, concept art,
Mm-hmm.
one of the episodes, and it was given to every artist that was going to illustrate that series in order to keep everything cohesive. So I did find one of those particular art boards and brought that in for her to sign. She actually she signed it with a heart with a slash in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's Wednesday, obviously. And she said that that was the very first time that she had seen one of those for signing. So when somebody gives her something that she's never signed before, she'll always put a little first in the corner with her initials.
Yeah.
So, you know, one, if she sees that around there, she knows that that was the very first one. And two, it's just, this kind of cool little thing that, you know, after all of these years, that was the very first one that she signed. So that was really cool.
That is cool because you did show it to me. I'm like, are you going to frame it and put it up on the wall?
Yes, yes, that will be framed once the bar area is completely painted. I'll have basically all the little things that I've had signed, pictures and things like that. That's what's going to hang in that area. So like the signed postcard when we went to go see Bandmade
Mm-hmm.
will be uh that I'll have a small frame for. The lithograph from Bush has Gavin's signature on it, so that'll be framed and hung in there. This will be framed and hung in there. I've gotten, a couple of things over the years,
Mm-hmm.
uh, mainly from you.
Yeah.
So those will actually be once I collect all of those will actually be hanging in there as well.
That's good. That reminds me, like the anime NYC. I think it was 2019. I actually has to meet Guilty Kiss. I think I have it with me in my new place, if not it's in the storage. I have like a little folder. In this folder, it print out email congratulating me for winning the lottery for that. A copy of they give you like these thank you cards, which I have those, and like the ribbon, like the wristband. I have that all together. I kind of want to frame that and put it up. Eventually, I'll get around to it. Actually, come to think of it, I went out and got the frame, and then I realized, oh, after I tried to put it together, the frame was slightly too small. So what else did you do on Sunday? I mean, it's not Sunday, Saturday.
Saturday.
Yes.
Well, you and I both ended up going to Uncle Yo's panel.
Oh, yes.
Which was really good. Basically breaking down the psychology of Naruto.
The adolescent trauma recovery in Naruto with Uncle Yo.
Yes. Really good panel. If you happen to see him doing a panel like that at any convention that you're going to, definitely go.
Yes.
It is not only informative on the various psychological issues that go on in the series, but he's a professional.
Yes, he actually has a degree. I want you all to understand. I knew people who ran anime psychology panels at conventions. They were not licensed psychologists. They just had like either their associate or their bachelor in psychology, and they thought they were experts.
Yeah, I mean, you can go through and say, yes, this is textbook that, this is textbook that. But to have somebody that actually is licensed in it, discussing it with you, and doing it in a humorous way,
Yes,
made it very informative, but also made you understand the characters and where they were coming from a lot more. So I know that he said that he does it for a couple of different series. So if you do happen to see it at a convention, definitely go. I definitely recommend that. Other than that, I walked around a little bit. I took a nap.
you always take a nap.
I do. I was freaking tired. But yeah, I mean, I just walked around. I will say there were some areas on Saturday that were really, really compacted. I don't know if it just happened that, staff wasn't seeing what was going on. But like right by the elevators, there were people sitting down in the middle of the aisle from the panel rooms to the elevators, and very large groups. So it was very difficult to get around them. And that seems like it would be a decent place to have somebody, especially since it's right by the elevators. Just to, I mean, not that people can't sit there and that they shouldn't sit there. There is a seating area there.
Yep.
But you definitely need somebody saying, hey, you do have to, keep space open, not just for people to get through, but it's a fire hazard.
Yeah. I mean, the hotel is kind of weirdly laid out. Like if you don't take the elevator to the second floor, and you take the stairs, which is it's nice fancy stairs. There's an alcove area where you can just chill out and relax. I seen some people taking pictures there. I know we were on the second floor, which was great for us because almost all the panel rooms, video rooms, and all of that were right there for convenience. But there's an area right there where people were doing like group photos and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I gotta get here. And then there's a hallway where they have con tables set up to promote the conventions. And then there's a room right there, the press room. This is something I forgot to mention, but I'll tell you about it anyway. While we're in the press room setting up, we keep hearing like this sound, like an air compressor or something like that. We're like, oh, it's the air conditioning. No, air conditioning doesn't sound like that. After trying to figure things out, we realized something. The press room is right next to the men's room, and they were using the hand dryer. So when I go back and play back those interviews, it shouldn't be that much of an issue for me. So shouldn't be. But like I said, the hotel is kind of weirdly laid out. But I would say this time it kind of worked. Now, let me tell you about my Saturday. Now, I got up early, went to Dunkin', got breakfast. And when I was leaving this morning, when I left that morning, there was a line. I'm just like, wow. When I came back, the line was gone. I was only gone for maybe about 20, 30 minutes. Usually, if there's a long line, you come back in 20, 30 minutes, there's still a line. But this line was basically gone. Because everything is done online. There's no cash transactions. Everyone just goes through quickly and expeditiously as possible. Now downstairs, I went downstairs to the game room where I walked through and saw some arcade games. There was a couple of pinball tables. There was booths set up for like console gaming. AVGN was there, a video game con. Origin of Play was there, and I want to say Press Start was the other people there. They brought in the arcade machines, so I actually had a chance to play some DDR A3, which was fun. They also had a pump machine, Guitar Freaks, Drum Mania. There was also Taiko Drum Master, and I believe Jubeat was there too. So I did find it interesting that I had to re-register my arcade card. I guess because last time I used it, I was in Japan. So I guess when I use it here, it's like, oh, you got to put this in. But thankfully, I still remember my password, so that was great. So let me tell you about my set. So first thing I went to was this panel called Catch These Hands, Breaking Down Anime Fight Choreography. So I thought it would be more about people doing choreography scenes, and breaking it down. No, it was just somebody with playing back screens, YouTube videos and explaining it. I was like, this is not what I thought it was, so I left. So just so you know, in between panels, I was actually walking around and taking cosplay photography. Instead of my normal 3 per person, I was doing shots of 3, 4 to 5. Because let's be real, you cosplayers. I know a lot of y'all do this. When a photographer asks to take your picture and he starts taking pictures, you start doing different poses. Keep that shit up. Keep it up. I love that. That just means I'll just stand and take more pictures of you. I'm not going to complain. And if I have your card, I will send you copies. That means I'm probably not going to post all of them, but you get all of them anyway. So I like to keep like a nice variety. So please, if you see someone taking, if your picture being taken, pose, Vogue, do that good stuff. I'm all about that. Now, to add on to Uncle Yo's panel, adolescent trauma recovery with Naruto. It's a bit of comedic relief and actual reality of it. He actually drills down and compares, what's going on with Naruto to things that happen in real life. And when he broke down stuff about Naruto, I'll admit, I got a little emotional. Because the way he described Naruto was basically a lonely kid who had to raise himself and people hated him. And he compared to certain things. I was like, damn. Just put my name up there. Why don't you? Because I'll tell you this about me. I grew up in the projects. I had to take care of myself and my great-grandmother. I always got picked on. I had to fight back. And it fucking sucked. The only difference is Naruto wants others to understand the pain that he's been through so that you don't do it to others. Me, I just want to take that pain and beat somebody senseless with it.
I said,
But I will say later that evening when I was running around as Black Jesus, I did run into Uncle Yo. I think I got a selfie with him. I don't remember. I suck at getting selfies because I forget half the time, but told him, that when he described Naruto, that hit close to home. And I'm like, and I appreciated that, it kind of reminded me. Now, and he did just say he wanted to try this with different animes. And I'm just like, go for it. I'd like to see him break down other popular series and comparison. I think I should tell him he should do this panel with Demon Slayer or My Hero Academia. Oh my God. I think that'll put butts in seats. And you realize how deeply flawed and fucked up your favorite characters are.
I kind of want to see him do the panel with Berserker.
Oh God.
I would love to see his take on that.
Let me ask you. After seeing his panel and he used Naruto and he used Berserk. Do you think you can make it through the full 60 minutes?
Of what?
Of his panel.
Of him doing a panel like that to Berserk?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering, that's all.
Yeah, no, I would actually really be interested. Like, no joke, legit interested because of the issues between the characters and all of that. I would love to see that broken down.
I'm about that. Okay. So, let's get to the masquerade. It was a great masquerade. I do not like Best in Show. I believe Derpycon applies the rules. Best in Show, you don't have to make your own costume. I had a discussion with a friend of mine about that. Somebody said, they deserve Best in Show because, it's not easy to choreograph with 9 people on stage. I'm like, well, that's true, but all 9 people bought their costumes. Now, I do understand some conventions will allow that for part of Best in Show. I actually thought the Chainsaw Man, that should have gotten Best Performance. Actually, the Mima skit, that should have gotten Best in Show because I found out later that cosplayer made her costume out of vinyl. I think it was like the other vinyl. I think that's what you call vinyl now, right? I guess so. So that's what it was. But here's the thing that I like the most about her. If you've seen Perfect Blue, there's the opening sequence switches between the Mima and her group dancing on stage and her backstage. She added interpretive dancing to it to kind of make it all blend in, and I thought that was great. I thought that I liked that. That was great. Overall, I would say the masquerade was fun. It was and I like the fact that Uncle Yo hosted it much better than the host that they had 2 years ago. So, see, you're asking, excuse me, who are you? Who I am is who I be. But anywho, I would say the masquerade was great. I enjoyed it, and I also like the fact that it started at 5:30. I mean, they started letting people in around 5:15 or so, but it was done by 8. I loved it. Plenty of time to go back to the room and eat, relax, and do other stuff. So later that night, I went to the dance. It was only for 2 hours. I only went because a couple of people I met at Shenanigans were going, so I went and hung out and danced with them. It was a pretty good time. And just so you know, this is not one of those dances where you think you're going to have a little extra fun. No, don't even think of it like that. This is more like a general all ages type environment and so forth. A couple of people complained that somebody brought their 5-year-old kid to the dance. I'm like, whoa,
That
oh,
that's a little young.
yeah.
That's bordering on a little too young.
But at the same time, it didn't say 18 plus.
No, but I'm not even thinking about the type of activities. I'm thinking when you have somebody that young, unless you were giving them um, headphones
Mm-hmm.
or something, it's just way too loud.
And you're right. But the thing is, I don't think that child thought it was that loud because she was kind of stomping around having fun with their parents. So, me
Well, yeah,
personally,
you don't know it's too loud until you get out of there and your ears are ringing.
oh, fair. Me personally, I just think all convention dances should be 18 plus right off the bat. That's just me personally. The dance did stop a few minutes early because somebody fell to the floor and their leg cramped up. So, but they're doing okay now. So I left, went across the street to Blackthorn. I will say this: we got dinner there Friday night. That burger was okay. It used a little bit of seasoning.
Well, you went to an Irish pub for a burger.
I've gone to Irish pubs where the burgers tasted better than that.
I know, but you're going to an Irish pub for a burger.
What part of I've been to Irish pubs that had burgers better tasting than that did you miss?
Okay, you're going to an Irish pub for a burger in New Brunswick.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I will say that my nacho fry things, what they called Irish nachos,
Mm-hmm.
is basically cheese and bacon over waffle fries. It definitely needed more cheese.
Um, Cinnamite, who was with us, she doesn't drink, so the bartender made her a mocktail, which was like I think it was like a Shirley Temple or something like that.
It was a berry mojito.
Very much. Yeah, she liked it a little bit, but she gave it to you.
She didn't like the fizzy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she liked the flavor. She didn't like the fizzy, so that's why she gave it to me.
Fair enough. So I went back over there and I did run into a couple of people and we all left like right afterwards. And evidently what happens is Derpycon will book time over there for a 21 plus event. And I've been over there a couple of years ago and it was like, this was terrible. When I got there, everybody had already left because it was gone to 1:30. There was another 21 plus party called Social Nexus, and it's what you call pay to play. For example, pay to get in for your drinks, food, and it's a little bit more pricey. And I was like, I wasn't really feeling that. Granted, I have done those types of parties before and still had a good time, but also from what I was told, a lot of people there it's very cliquish. So I'm like, if I spent money to go in, spent money for food and drink, and I couldn't have a decent conversation with people because I'm not cliquish with them, I would be really pissed the fuck off. And I didn't go. So after that, we went to an 18 plus panel called Smash or Pass. It was the Dungeon Meshi edition. Basically, would you smash or pass certain creatures from the anime? And yes, somebody that was for or against. It was funny. I liked that. Then afterwards, I hung out with some friends and we kind of walked a little bit and called it a night. So overall, Saturday was good. I enjoyed myself. I really couldn't complain. Now we're going to go ahead and get into Derpycon Sunday, the last day of the con. So, Mako, how long did you stick around for?
I didn't.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. Okay.
Yeah, no, I once we packed up and we were heading out of the room, I just went home.
So I stuck around for Sunday. I stayed for the whole thing. Let me pull up the Sunday schedule. I know I stuck my head into a couple of panels just because. Oh, there was a swap meet. Totally. All right, there was supposed to be a J Fashion runway, but that was canceled. I did stop into Dizzy Lizzie's round circle discussion. Basically, Dizzy Lizzie was not just she's a cosplay judge, but she's a cosplay judge and guest for Derpycon. Normally, she's a cosplay coordinator for a couple other conventions she works with, which is cool. Basically, she did a breakdown of panel about things to do if you're competing, like things to do with your costumes and so forth, the sewing, the materials. It was just how to handle like the wins and the losses, what to ask, and so forth. And I stuck around for that, and that was a really good panel. I found it very informative for somebody who doesn't really cosplay compete anymore. I stopped by Cosplay Chess, got a few pictures there. That was pretty cheap. I walked around. I stopped by the mental health and bullying. That was also pretty. I'm glad there are panels like this at cons. Then I kind of just hung out and took photos. And then there was some drama that happened that Sunday. So you're going to find out anyway, either through socials or something like that. But we had a MAGA asshole at the convention. I had found out that this guy was wearing a ski mask, MAGA hat, the camcorder, talking to congoers and cosplayers and basically harassing them. Eventually, he was escorted out by the police. As for the video footage, I don't know. As far as I know, he doesn't have it. Come to find out, he has done this at a convention a couple of years ago, and they had to DMCA his channel to have some stuff removed. I think it was a good thing. That ties into something else that happened when I was outside on the phone calling the police. A cosplayer was asking me, what's going on, and I explained what was. She thought it was for something else, so I asked her what's going on. Basically, she was accosted by another cosplayer. The whole. I don't want to say the whole not. Basically, this falls under cosplay is not consent. Basically, this guy was just trying to hug her and touch her, and she felt totally creeped out by it. And it clicked in my head because I was hearing from other staffers that they were on the lookout for a certain person, and I didn't realize it. I was actually hanging out with him at the dance. The way he was dancing with this one girl, I thought was kind of odd. I went to go check up on her, which, Mako, there's a story that connects that to you, which is related to the picture that I sent you on Sunday.
Okay.
So, come to find out this guy was already banned, and he pulled his badge. So I spoke to this person, and she told me he was also harassing this other cosplayer that we had saw walking by, and then there was some Powerpuff cosplayers. Basically, a bunch of us told me that this guy was harassing them, and this other cosplayer who was cosplaying from Hasbin Hotel was saying he was following her around by Geekdom Con. And what really was unnerving at the cosplayer I was talking to, this guy basically hugged her without permission. She's underage.
Jeez.
So don't worry, public safety has this all on notice. He, like I said, his badge has been pulled and he's been banned from the con. And I saw him walk up to me while I was standing outside saying, whatever they said about me, it's not true. I'm like, look, dude, I don't know. Care. If they're saying you did something, you need to go. From my understanding, he did apologize. And suppose I read glimpses of that in one of the discords I'm in. But again, this person is doing the same thing as most people do who are touchy feely with people and cosplayers at conventions. They blame it on the autism. Don't do that. Stop doing that. It is 100% uncalled for. There's no point in blaming it on the autism because I know people who are autistic who act a hell of a lot more mature than you. So that was it. So after that, I hung out. I stuck around for closing ceremonies. I believe next year's Derpycon is going to be on Halloween, and the attendance numbers were around was 3,500 plus, meaning there was at least 3,500 people there, but they still hadn't finished the count.
That's not bad.
No, I was like I said at the top of the show about Derpycon. Maybe they listened to us. Maybe they got that feedback, but it didn't seem like a piss poor convention as it was 2 years ago. I feel like Derpycon got its footing. They found their path. I think that they're going to do really well. The way I see it now, I really have no problems going back next year. I won't day zero it, but I sure as hell will take a full Friday off and go. That's definitely not a problem. Mako-chan, from your one day, or in this case, your day and a half of being there, what's your thoughts on the con?
I think the con is doing a lot better. I think there is still a lot more
Mm-hmm.
growth that needs to be done. Um, one being a change in hotel. I really think the layout of this hotel is not working for not just the amount of people, but the noise.
Mm-hmm.
I know when we were in the panel for Uncle Yo, because the cosplay room was right across from that, everybody was just standing around and talking, and we finally had to shut the door just to be able to hear the panel. Um, so I don't know if there would be, I don't know the layout of the hotel enough to know if there would be anywhere to expand into. But I think that needs to be looked into. I think there also needs to be um, a place big enough for people to just kind of go. Because the lobby is very small. There's, just the tables at the little cafe and a couple of, chairs around that area. And then the area that's up on the second floor, but even that's not big.
Right.
And a lot of people, they just want to go and hang out with their friends, but they want to be able to continue seeing everything as they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think that another hotel with a better layout would be. I think that's in their future. I don't think that they're going to be able to be in this hotel very long, especially if they start getting more people in.
Yeah. Like I think this is third or fourth year. And I'm looking at floor plans. So now the Regency Ballroom, that's where, if I'm looking at it correctly, this is main events. The dealer's room that holds a total of 1,500 people. Now you also have the Garden State Ballroom, which holds about 250 people. When you go back there, that's tabletop. Downstairs, the lower level, the Brunswick Ballroom, that's your game room right off. Now, the second floor, you have many conference rooms, salons, and a boardroom. That's basically your two video rooms, your cosplay headquarters, info booth, everything. That's where everything else is. Now, I believe there was 5 panel rooms, two video rooms. Play around with that. Maybe change one of the panel rooms into a quiet room or a chill room. There were very mixed thoughts on on the manga library. If it wasn't popular this year, 86 it and put something else in there. I believe they can get away for being get away with being in this convention in this, because I think when they hit between 4 and 5,000, it's going to be way too much for this hotel to handle. But overall, me and Mako, we enjoyed the con, and most likely we'll be going back next year. I like the fact that there are really good Jersey conventions popping back up. And there's one thing that I overheard from a few people. They complained that Derpycon was too small and it needs to grow big and bigger. Not every convention does that or it happens like that. There are some cons where it'll stay small, then they will get certain guests, and then it just explodes and their attending numbers keep going up. Some conventions will stay small and kind of build traction. Then you have some that will stay in the middle. It's always good to have conventions that are small, medium, and large. Because I'm at the point where I'm not too big on going to large conventions. I will if the large convention is 10 minutes away and the smaller one is 2 hours away, I'm probably more inclined to go to the one that's 2 hours away. Because that will allow me to not just do the photography that I want. It'll allow me to check out more time to check out panels and go eat, do a lot of things, and not worry about the fact that I might be missing something important. But overall, if you have not been to Derpycon, go next year. You'll have a good time. Bring your friends. Come enjoy yourselves. If you went and you were kind of on the fence, I think if you go back next year, you're gonna be glad that you did. And for those of you who did not like how things happened, I'm sorry about that. I would say skip next year and go back the following year because we skipped 2 years, I believe. Yeah, we went in 2022, so skipped a year. So definitely do that. So overall, Derbycon was a good con. There were some issues, but they're getting there. They're getting better. They're hitting their stride. So Derpycon, I am definitely proud of y'all. Y'all have come a long way. Keep that shit up. Now that we got that out the way, we are going to go ahead and get into some news tonight. Mako-chan, isn't it against federal regulations to open up other people's mail?
Yep.
So why the fuck is Crunchyroll doing that shit? Please take it away. Right, Calgon.
Yeah. So, anime fans were stunned on October 25th when voice actor, ADR writer and director, and Crunchyroll award winner David Wald shared posts alleging that Crunchyroll and Funimation had illegally opened, disposed of, and distributed the contents of fan mail sent to him over the last 5 years. So he wrote on Twitter, "Dear friends, if you sent me anything care of Funimation or Crunchyroll in the last 5 years, I apologize. I didn't get it. I learned yesterday that Crunchyroll opened my private mail, threw away your letters, and passed out any included items to their staff. These contents included magazines, stickers, and other gifts of value to fans who wish to thank David for his efforts, which includes voice acting roles as Asquad in Vinland Saga, Gajeel in Fairy Tale, and ADR direction in To Love Ru, the case study of Vanitas and Bloom Into You. So yeah, then a lot of people called out and said, what the fuck? So following his post, many came forward to share that they had sent him packages, several even admitting to fears that they had upset Wald, which was why they never received a reply. In addition to the damage this caused to the relationship between Wald and his fans, Wald added that this has ruined his relationship with Crunchyroll. He's now working to have the items returned to him and stressed this had nothing to do with regular staff, citing quote unquote a company freebies table that management likely oversaw. Crunchyroll responded to the allegation on October 27th in an email, which read, "Anime fans have a special connection with dub voice talent, and that emotional expression is important in fueling more love of anime content. We are currently investigating the matter regarding the allegation of undelivered fan mail to a voice actor. We respect the privacy of all of our voice actors and do not intentionally open mail or packages not intended for Crunchyroll. Any fan mail should be sent directly to talent and their management." So, assuming the letters weren't addressed to Crunchyroll or that Crunchyroll isn't a designated recipient, many speculate that the company's actions amount to the federal crime of mail theft.
Mm-hmm.
So, mail theft is examples are receiving, concealing, or unlawfully possessing any letter, postcard, package, bag, or mail, or any article or thing contained therein, which has been so stolen, taken, embezzled, or abstracted as herein described, knowing the same to have been stolen, taken, embezzled, or abstracted, and is punishable by fine and or imprisonment up to 5 years. The allegations come at a time of success for the company. Crunchyroll recently announced a quote-unquote new era after passing 15 million paid subscribers and was ranked as the 36th biggest goods licensor in the world, netting over 1 billion in sales in 2023. Seriously, guys, that ain't your shit.
Mm-hmm. Now
And you like it, that don't mean that you're shit.
and let me say this again. Some of you know where I work, so where I'm going with this, you'll get it. To tell the fans to send their letters to the talent or management, unless you know, if you Google most voice actors, you're not going to really find their talent or their management company. You're really not, unless they have it listed on a public Facebook profile or public page, or they have an address listed where to send it. Because if you do not know their talent or management agency, what are you going to do? You're going to send it to the publishing company. That's what's going to happen. What Crunchyroll needs to understand is when somebody says, when someone sends a letter and it's Kyle Bear, care of Funimation, or care of Crunchyroll, here's the address. The mailroom, contact that voice actor and say, we got a letter for you. We're going to send it out, or we're going to send it out at the end of the week. If there's anything else, so you'll have it. That's what should be doing. That's what they should be doing, instead of digging in like, ooh, look at all the cool. Here, this is yours. No, don't do that. Tell you this right now. If somebody in the mailroom at my job did that, trust me, they'd be fired with the quickness. No. That's just another story of Crunchyroll covering their asses. So now we're going to talk about another voice actor. This time a Japanese voice actor, or as the term goes, a seiyuu. And he did something really cool. He completed his entire Super Famicom collection, 1,400 game packs. Actor Yuichi Nakamura has several nerdy hobbies. There's Gunpla, which is basically Gundam kits. The other one is video games. This hit a major gaming milestone. He collected every commercially released Super Famicom game in box. Now you're probably wondering, well, what's a Super Famicom? Well, kids, if you remember the 90s or seeing videos of the 90s, there were gaming consoles back then. One of them was called the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. That's what was called here in the US. In Japan, it was called the Super Famicom. I think next time I go to Japan, I might pick up one just because. Kinda sucks. Japan and the UK got the Super Famicom design, and we got an all new, brand new redesign. What the hell? Anywho, Nakamura announced this feat in a live YouTube stream on October 27th, just after the 23 mark of the archive stream. He's noted that's over 1,400. The voice actor also went to Twitter to confirm this on his account, and there is a picture of all of his games in box. It looks like they're in a glass case. That's so freaking cool. Now, yeah, it looks like as if they're in like in drawers. You know, when you open up the glass display case, and they're all in there. That is so cool. I'm going to show. I'm gonna see if I can show y'all this because this is so freaking cool. Let me show y'all. Interact. That's what I'm looking for. Done. Here we go. There's the picture. That's really freaking cool. All those games in box, in a cabinet,
That's
glass
not
open.
even all of them.
I know. And if you look on the left, there's his laser discs. That's fucking cool. Can't translate. Oh. What, do you have another picture that you can show off or no?
I think that's the only one.
Okay, but I'm just saying that there's more to it. Yeah, that's definitely That is so freaking cool. I mean, sometimes I kind of wish I had paid more attention to my game packs, and I did that, but I didn't. That was so cool. That is so awesome, and I have a massive respect. That is the quote Sonic from the Saturday morning series, way past cool. While the Super Famicom, as I said, is the Japanese version of the Super NES, not all regions got the same selection of games. As such, it appears Nakamura has collected every Japanese game for the system. Judging by an image, his collection that he posted on October 5th, it's a mix of sealed and unsealed boxes. That is.
Yeah, he posted a picture of some of like just one up close shot,
Mm-hmm.
and I can see Aladdin. I can see X-Men, I can see he's got the Bonkers game. Do you remember that Saturday morning cartoon?
That was actually weekly, not Saturday morning, but Mega Man. See, I thought I saw Mega Man X2. Yeah, Mega Man X and X2. Final Fantasy 4, Live Alive, Front Mission, Wonder Project J, Soul Blader, which was called here Soul Blazer. That was also a great game. I think I have the remake version of that on PC and Switch. No, that's ActRaiser. That's the remake that I have. Tactics Ogre. That is Furious Twin EX. I see that. Mother 2 found. Marvel Superheroes War of the Gems. Street Fighter Zero 2. Rockman X3. 7. Captain Commando. Area 88, which came here as UN Squadron. That was also Breath of Fire. Final Fight. And he had that. Wow, that's really cool. I mean, I have a couple of the Ranma 1/2 games boxed like that. I think I have one without the box. No, that was the PC Engine version. That was really cool. That was so. All right. So now I realize I had updated. Now we got that out the way. Let's see. Normally, this is where we do cutting room floor, but I'm going to cut that due to time. So we're going to get that out of here. So now we're going to talk about our Meanwhile in Japan stories and then pack it up and get out of here. Because those of you who have been following our show for the longest, you know, we always tend to run late when we talk about anime convention.
Mm-hmm. And I got shit to do.
What, you got to take a shit?
No, but I got shit to do.
So, what do you want? Burger King or McDonald's?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me.
All right, then you know what? I'll take McDonald's. You go with Burger King.
Okie dokie.
Righty. And take it away, Mako-chan.
Yeah, so with Halloween just around the corner, all eyes are on Tokyo Shibuya Scrambling Crossing, a spot that became an unofficial party venue for the holiday and where bad behavior led the local government to clamp down on the event with drinking bans and appeals to the public to refrain from gathering in the area. It's clear that the government wants to shut down the event, and local businesses in the area are being asked to help maintain order by not selling alcohol beverages between 6 p.m. and 5 a.m. from the evening of the 26th of October through to the morning of the 1st of November. It's a request that the local Burger King is keen to help out with, while starting last year when it released a poster which announced that the chain was going one step further by totally closing its store at Shibuya Center Gai on the 31st of October. The poster was designed to look like the 2023 posters plastered around Shibuya by the local government. This year, Burger King has announced it will be closing again for Halloween, and this time it has a new poster to advertise the closure. The chain has cleverly plastered out the drink and drinking, covering it with the word burger, so it reads "No Burger King on the street" instead of "No drinking on the street," which is the slogan promoted by Shibuya Ward this year. It's a clever piece of marketing from the chain that's known for masking tongue-in-cheek jibes in its advertising. And the wittiness helps to offset any feelings of ill will by customers who might be put off by the closure. With Burger King's Center Gai store located in one of the narrow streets just off the crossing, it can get dangerously crowded, depending on the situation. So Burger King is making use of the day off to give its Central Gai branch a thorough cleaning before reopening to the public on the 1st of November. As for its main competitor, the Golden Arches down the street, there's no word whether it will be following suit, but it is likely to stay open as it did last year, giving Burger King a win on the moral high ground for the second.
So, as you can see here, this is last year's flyer that we talked about. Now, I'm going to go ahead and change that to this year's flyer. You can see exactly what Mako-chan is talking.
I love this year's flyer. It is freaking hilarious looking.
That's one way to get your point across, just saying.
Yeah.
So, as for the Golden Arches, this story is not about McDonald's and Halloween, but McDonald's mascot, not Ronald McDonald. It seems that McDonald's Japan is debuting a new anime girl mascot with an incredibly long name. So, food often comes up with a side door of linguistics in Japan, and McDonald's Japan is serving up an extra large helping with the introduction of their new anime girl style mascot character. With her cheerful smile and red and gold attire, she immediately conveys a sense of youthful energy and fun. What takes a bit more time to convey and comprehend is her name. Without further ado, here is Imada Kedeka Bachu Chitabemi. Again, that is Imadake Dabuchi Tabemi. If you're thinking that's a very long name, you're not alone. Even by Japanese language high syllable count standards, Imadake Dabuchi Tabemi is both cheek stuffed mouthful, so here's the explanation behind it. In principle, Japan's pretty much okay with adopting foreign loanwords. So on the McDonald's Japan menu, the chain calls its double cheeseburger. However, because of Japan's language limited number of consonant blends and a lack of a terminal R sound, it gets pronounced as Dabaru Cheeseburger. Among fans through McDonald's, Dabaru Cheeseburger is more commonly called by its abbreviated name, Dabuchi. As of October 23rd, McDonald's Japan is offering a pair of special burgers as usually officially uses the Dabuchi monk here, garlic onion and kara. Onion Dabuchi and the kara, which means spicy. These are both limited time items, which is to say they're only available now only, or to translate the designation to Japan, Imadake, making them Imadake Dabuchi, giving a large chunk of Imadake Dabuchi Temi's name. So what about the Tabemi part? Tabe comes from tabaru, which means eat, and the mi in the name is written as a particular kanji, meaning beautiful. Which is a common ending for women's names in Japan. Tabemi also and sounding similar to tabetemate, which means try it when talking about food. Adding an extra layer of complexity that is usually no space placed between a person's family and given name when writing in Japanese. So it's not clear whether Imadake Dabuchi Tame is the character's given name or if her family name, which is said first in Japanese, is Imadake. Imadake Dabuchi, or some other combination of syllables. So while Imadake Dabuchi Tabemi's visual design is getting a lot of thumbs up online, a lot of index fingers are being used to scratch heads at the same time with comments such as, "That name breaks my brain, but the character design is cute. Naming is beyond. Taking all my mental capacity to try to parse that. Think of her last name as Ima Dakeda and her given name is Buchi Tabemi, meaning to gorge on. She sounds really tough." Okay, this was funny as all hell. McDonald's USA. Donald Trump is working here today. Meanwhile, McDonald's Japan. Meet Imadake Dabuchi Tabemi. In her debut tweet, McDonald's Japan says that Imadake Dabuchi Tabemi will only be around for a short while, even though the badge on her jacket says meaning now, but the mysteries of her name will likely linger even after she's gone. That is a very long ass name.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go ahead and show y'all a picture of her. And that's, look at her. She's precious.
She is adorable.
Yes, she is. And now that we got that out the way, and given the time, we are going to get out of here. It's about that time. And to go back to that last story about the producer about the voice actor collecting game cartridge game packs. C. DeBerry says a lot of later Disney afternoon cartoons need more recognitions, even like Marsupilami. I have no idea what that is. I pretty much know my Disney afternoon cartoons. So if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. So what we like and don't like, we're going to tell you straight up front right now as it is. So if you have any questions about the show, please drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe. Don't forget to check out our podcast on various podcasting apps and sites. You can find us on Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere where podcasts are available. And what's cool is some of these sites have a section where you can leave reviews and so forth. So if you could, leave us a review if you don't want to send an email. Either or is pretty awesome with us. And don't forget to check out our website at animejamsession.com, where on that site, on our website, you will find our weekly podcast, cosplayer tips and tricks, cosplayer interviews, editorials, anime reviews, links to our YouTube page and Facebook page of cosplay and convention coverage. So please check it out. We'd like to hear from you. And speaking of hearing from us and from y'all, follow us on our social media. It's Anime Jam Session on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Follow us on those so you know when we're going live, when we have new articles up, new reviews are up, and photos, videos, all of that. And to everybody who follows us on our socials, thank you so much. We couldn't do any of this without you. Ooh, excuse me, I'm getting a little more tired than I should be. I need some more water. So now, if you are participating with us live, down below on our page is our tip jars. You'll find links to our Stream Elements, Streamlabs, and our Ko-Fi pages if you want to throw us a few dollars. If you want, you can also cheer us on with bits. You can also sub to the channel and give out gift subs and so forth. We really appreciate all of that. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Mako-chan.
Yeah.
My last words is, I think I'm going to have some wings, watch Dan to Dan, and call it a night. Well, that is it. End of list. We're going to get up on out of here. We'll be back next week with a brand new show. It'll be November. I guess we're going to start kicking up the holidays. Just letting you know, we will be taking off at the end of the year. We'll be out of here from last 2 weeks of December and most likely first week of January. So as the weeks come down, we'll be more accurate on those dates on that as well. So we're going to get up on out of here. So I'm Ranma.
And I am Mako-chan.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Awesome. Perfect. We're getting out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!